Here we're going to run down the properties of exponents and then do some examples. So first thing we know is that if you have the same base, these are both base A, that are being raised to a power and they're multiplied, you really just add their powers. So multiplying bases means add their powers. X to the 5th times x to the 3rd is going to be x to the 5 plus 3, which is x to the 8th. Conversely, if you have the same base but it's divided, we're going to do the opposite operation. So multiplication means addition. Dividing bases means subtracting exponents. So x to the 9 divided by x to the 5, subtract 9 minus 5 and get x to the 4th. If you have a power raised to a power, you're going to multiply those powers. So x to the 3rd raised to the 4th, 3 times 4 is 12. So multiplying bases means adding exponents, dividing bases means subtract exponents, and raising a power to a power is when you multiply. We can write this another way. If we have two things on the inside, they're both raised to that power. So if you have 4x cubed, that's getting squared, you do the 4 squared, and then you do x cubed, getting squared. A power to a power means multiply them. So you'd get 16x to the 6. If you have a negative exponent, it belongs in the denominator. So if you have x to the negative 3, you can put it down in the denominator where it belongs. Or conversely, if there's a negative exponent in the denominator, it really should be positive. Putting it in and out of the denominator changes the sign of the power. So if you have a negative power, you put it in the denominator, it becomes positive. If you have a negative power in the denominator, take it out and it becomes positive. So change the location and you'll change the sign. And then lastly, anything to the 0 equals 1. Just note that if you don't have the same base, you can't apply these rules. So we wouldn't combine them unless they have the same base. And then having a negative 1 multiplied out front is being different than negative inside with the power being raised to the n. Again, if they don't have the same bases, we can't apply the same rules. And there's no rule for adding bases. So you would multiply bases if you wanted to add the powers. So just some common mistakes.